Welcome, everybody, to
Welcome.
another episode of the Benzinga Crypto Show. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm in a new location because producer AB is in the studio. He's in the office this week and took my studio. I'm just going to wait a little bit. I see that there's a few people here now. I'm going to just wait for you guys to trickle in and we'll get the show rolling. I'm joined by my lovely host, Catherine Ross. How are
Hi.
we doing, Catherine?
Hello. It's been a long day. It's been a long week of pre-IPO news, the actual day of IPO, and then post-IPO news day. So it's been a very long week, and we all just looking forward to weekend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm ready for the weekend for sure.
Yeah.
Drop a one in the chat if you guys are ready for the weekend, and you guys are, hyped about the Coinbase IPO yesterday. If you're not feeling too good about it right now, feeling optimistic, let us know.
Yeah, I when you say welcome to the show, I always want to hear previously on Benzinga Crypto.
Yeah,
and then
I know. That would be great.
Yeah, rerun of what happened. It sometimes actually helps, because we cover topics or just further cover topics that we haven't mentioned before.
Exactly.
Are we waiting for people to tune in? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we are. We're waiting for a few more people to trickle in. I believe if you guys are most of our audience, I believe, is still watching the Power Hour with Luke and Jason.
Wait, it's still going?
Yeah, they usually always run long, so we gotta bide our time here, folks, while we wait for them to toss us
They
a
are
bone.
chatty.
They are chatty Cathy's.
Those two are chatty. I didn't get that. Yes.
Oh no, I'm not talking to you, Siri. But sorry about that. Okay, so I mean, we can get into it just so we're not wasting everybody's time here.
Yeah.
And I want to provide and go over all the information and topics that we want to get to today in a timely manner. Get you guys everything that you want to know. So without further ado, I'm just going to run the intro for you guys, get you a little hyped up. What's today? Thursday? Today is Thursday. We're almost at the end of the week. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it strong with the intro. Hype us up. Let's go.
Can we just have a Drake song on backwards all the time, please, so we can, do that flow and talk about it?
I wish we could. Maybe we'll have to hit up Drake, see if we can, license some of his music for our shows, but I don't want to get hit with that copyright. So let's hold off on that for now.
But can you imagine how cool would that be? We would be started from the bottom, now we're
I mean, that is the perfect tagline for crypto. That is perfect.
Yeah, actually it is perfect. But today's coins actually are not related to Bitcoin. Well, they are all
Catherine, how are all the coins performing today?
Sad. No, honestly, well, no, it's actually looking pretty greener than the last time I checked, which was morning. But the thing is, and the truth is that everybody is suggesting in the crypto markets that the market just seems to believe that a lot of coins were liquidated to buy Coinbase shares. Mm-hmm. And I have a question before we're going to dive into two cryptocurrencies of today, and it's not Bitcoin. If you guys were able to buy Coinbase shares so far, if you have been, share your experience. If you have been, if you have not, also share your experience. And if you decidedly did not do so, please also share your experience in the chat.
Yeah, and I'll tell you about my experience trying to get Coinbase yesterday. So I had set all my limit orders and everything like that, hoping to get into it, into Coinbase and follow pretty much the trend of everybody and the IPO. Mm-hmm. Obviously, yes, it is always risky to get into an IPO. You never know what's going to happen. But
from the start, right?
Yeah, exactly. From the start, from the very beginning, definitely, mm-hmm. It's you never know. So I tried to get in. I put in my limit orders. And I had to set different limit orders based on all of the analyst pricing.
Mhm.
that I was that they were saying it was gonna be listed at, open at, that kind of stuff. Set it. I think I set one limit order for about 370, and it
Mhm.
opened up at 381. Went up to like 430, I think was the high yesterday, and then dropped all the way down to 310. It lost $100 within the day. So definitely kind of happy that I didn't get into it, you know. A
Yeah.
little bit like unsure that I should have got into it when it dipped hard, but we'll see how it goes. We got time.
Okay, the truth about IPOs, and I'm not talking about, just IPO versus direct listing and stuff like that, just in general. The truth about that and what we have seen in the stock market is that the bigger the anticipated valuation of the companies, the harder shares are usually falling. That's the truth. Like,
It
if I'm,
makes sense, and then I've
yeah,
seen that trend. Yeah.
I think we saw that actually with Uber and with with a lot of like high anticipated IPOs of 2020. So that's usually what happens. But then I think, I hope I'm not mistaken, but the DoorDash IPO was actually much higher and did much better than expected. And I think they had the CEO on Bloomberg like saying, "I can't believe these people are actually buying this." But I might be wrong. I'm thinking that it's DoorDash, but I might be wrong. Okay, so going to the top cryptocurrencies of today, and it's not Bitcoin. I'm sorry, guys, but the first one is Ethereum, and you know why? Because the Berlin hard fork has actually taken place today. Now, what it means, if you guys are not familiar with what a hard fork is, these are the things that are usually happening. This is what we saw actually with Ethereum back in the day. They were Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. It's still actually Ethereum Classic is still out there. It's just a hard fork of not no, that's not correct. It's just
Could
Ethereum
you?
just
I'm sorry,
both
Catherine. Could
ways.
you
Yeah.
explain to me
Yeah.
again and to the audience what a hard fork is?
Yes. So a hard fork is a software update, to put it mildly. So it's an update implemented by a blockchain or a cryptocurrency network nodes. And what it actually does, it does all the previous code incompatible. So it is incompatible with the existing blockchain protocol, right? And it causes a permanent split into two separate networks that run in parallel. So this is what happened back in the day with Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, and now it's like, so we have a Berlin hard fork, but it's not the end of the update of Ethereum network. We are waiting for Ethereum 2.0, which is actually going to be is expected to be much more significant. But let me tell you what happened today. So the Berlin hard fork, right? It's again a software update, and it incorporated 4 Ethereum protocols. Sorry. Ethereum proposals, 4 Ethereum improvement proposals. So I'm gonna just to be sure, I'm just gonna tell you that these 2 included 2 most important ones, much anticipated in the ecosystem. The EIP 2565 improvement proposal, right? So this protocol proposal, it reduces some gas cost algorithmically, and EIP stands for improvement in Ethereum improvement proposal. This one 2718 wrapped allowing multiple transaction types on the blockchain. So one of the core developers of Ethereum, Tim Baker, actually told today that in terms of the gas fees, which we have been mentioning so far in the show, it means that the specific precompile, which is affected by this proposal, will be relatively cheaper gas-wise to execute, but it's not the main source of the demand for transaction fees. Then it won't affect the overall gas prices. Now, to recap, gas costs refer to how much it costs to execute a smart contract on the network, right? And gas prices refer to how much Ethereum you are willing to pay per unit of gas. Transaction fees are a product of those two, and thank you, Aaron, for putting this chart up.
Yep.
We're going to look at the historical transaction fees. Now, I know that if you guys have been following, a lot of people in the ecosystem, Ethereum ecosystem, and overall in the crypto community have been complaining about the gas fees. So, Aaron, could you just put the the mouse where the first transaction fee is at the very beginning? Let's see how much it was
right here. Back in 2021, January, 641.
Yes. 641, and then the highest one is, I believe, 38. If you just like click on the highest one, it was $38, and it was February 23rd, I believe last year.
Yeah. No, this year.
Oh, this year. Sorry. And so we are at where we are at today. Today's price is 18. I think it was 18, something like that.
18.45.
Yes.
Average gas price.
Yeah, so 18.45 is actually, it does sound a little bit better than 38. But the truth is that Ethereum 2.0, which is expected to bring this like layer 2, which we have been mentioning, right? The major update that will, bring a lot of like scalability updates and proposals. So Ethereum 2.0 is actually expected to bring much lower transaction fees. It is expected to be lower since today because of the Berlin hard fork, but it's not going to be as low as when we're actually going to see Ethereum 2.0. So, and I just would like to get back to the price of Ethereum because it's still pretty high, $2,460. Yeah, up, and it's going up.
I'm still kicking myself, guys. I'm still kicking myself. So,
well, again, right? So the major software update has been implemented today, right? So this is where we're at Ethereum. But I just told you that Ethereum 2.0 is along the way. See what I'm saying? The major update, which is going to make Ethereum much more affordable to buy and to transact, is along the way. You know what I'm saying? It's not investment advice, but just look in the future.
Peso, you are right. It is not too late to get in. I should get in. I might as well just do it,
Yeah, well, a lot of people are saying that it's not too late to get in, to buy in some Satoshis or even a whole Bitcoin, right? Because if the expected price is like $300,000, then yeah, okay. So we have a guest soon, but before
yes, we do have a guest soon, and before we do that, I do want to go over Coinbase, right? Like
oh, you want to go? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, one major
yes, we got to get it over.
Yep. The Band cryptocurrency, Band as in BAND. So Band protocol is a cross-chain data oracle platform that aggregate and connects real-world data and APIs to smart contracts. So it partnered with Google Cloud specifically today. And that's why it's up. And it's one of the examples that I wanted to bring to you guys and show that, these are real companies do real things, bringing value to the ecosystem. It's not NFTs and it's not NFTs token. And again, it doesn't mean that I'm critical. NFTs are allowing people to come into the space, but, Band protocol is actually an example of a use case that is very valuable to the ecosystem. And a lot of people in the community agree with me, according to Twitter. So the price is up 32%. I think at least it was when I last checked it. Oh,
it's up 20. It's up 28% now.
28 now. Okay, so 32 when I published the news. So yeah, and is our guest here or?
Our guest is here. We do have him ready. Yes. So we can pull him over whenever.
Just a couple of points about Coinbase. So it went live. Surprise! It actually happened, right? So it closed yesterday at $328. It is currently trading at let me double check.
A little bit, 331.40. It's moving.
Yeah. Again, so by the time it closed yesterday, the valuation was actually at $85 billion, compared to $100 billion, the expected valuation. So a little bit lower. But if you can put up the block screenshot that we prepared for you guys, I just want to say that this direct listing was so far the biggest one. It's the largest direct listing to date, compared to Roblox, Spotify, and Palantir. here. So it is much, much, much bigger than all of them, despite the fact that it's a little bit lower than expected. So, nothing here, there are a lot of things to say and to talk about, but I want to bring our guests. Just one thing is that all you guys love Kathy Wood, and Benzinga loves Kathy Wood. So a couple of her ARK invest funds bought 246 million worth of Coinbase stock yesterday. So I think it shows a lot of trust. So whenever Kathy would do something, it shows trust. So I think we're going to expect bigger things from Coinbase in the future. And now today's guest is Max Kordex, Director and CEO of Lisk. And we are very excited to bring him live. Hello. Hi, Max. How are you?
Hi, everyone.
Hey, how's it going,
good.
Max?
Thank you. Very good.
Thank you for joining
to
us.
Be on your show. Of course. You're welcome.
Yeah, everybody's excited. So, Max, I'm just going to go ahead and ask you. So, I'm looking at Lisk.io, which is the official site for Lisk. And it says that Lisk is a blockchain application platform, right? And also it says we make blockchain accessible by creating a world in which everybody benefits from this. Can you explain what this actually means, like step by step? What is Lisk and what does it do?
Of course. So we started Lisk in 2016 because we saw a need to simplify blockchain technology for developers, but also for end users. Mm-hmm. And in contrast to platforms like Ethereum, where you're building a smart contract, in our case, with our Lisk SDK, you're building a real blockchain and build your features natively into the protocol of your blockchain. And by adding a user interface, this results into a blockchain application. So it's an entirely different system.
So if I'm going to say that Lisk is a sort of an ecosystem or tools for developers, will I be correct if I say so? Is it like
I would say at the current time, definitely. So we're currently in the path of fulfilling our first promise of making blockchain accessible to developers with the SAT SDK, so that basically everyone can build blockchain applications very easily. We're doing that in order to just drive more experimentation, because we believe out of experimentation come real use cases. And the second part, to drive this accessibility for end users, we are working on that so that anyone else besides developers can also just reap the benefits of blockchain tech.
So, and what kind of level you have to be to sort of use Lisk? Like, what kind of a developer you need to be? Are you a beginner? What kind of skills you have to be able to use Lisk?
Yes, so you should have a basic understanding of blockchain technology and its special aspects. And in terms of programming language, we're using JavaScript, TypeScript. So I think that's a programming language nearly every developer knows. It's the most wide-known programming language in the world. And just today, I saw someone joining our Discord channel, who is essentially not a JavaScript developer, didn't develop anything since years, and he just jumped onto our documentation and tried out our NFT tutorial, and he said he made it work. So I think you don't really have to be a very advanced developer to just play around with our SDK. Mm-hmm. But I think for the sake of having everything secure and safe, you should be a relatively good developer if you want to build something production ready. But in contrast to other platforms, I think we are very accessible, not only because of the most widespread, most easy programming language, but also just because of the way how our SDK works and functions. It's very easy to just jump on it and build a blockchain within probably an hour, or at least a day if you're more like a slow type.
Okay, so currently not for me, because I've just registered at Code Academy to be able to develop blockchain. I'm getting there. I just need to understand everything. That's what I'm doing. But maybe Aaron will be the person to jump on that. To actually use Lisk, because Aaron has experience in development. I am
just a tiny bit. Definitely, our in-house expert is John G in terms of development and crypto. So I'm actually kind of sad that he's not with us right now. He's on I think he took a day off, well deserved. But Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, because I saw, I guess, on Twitter that at least your official Twitter says that you're, based in Switzerland. Is that correct?
Yeah. So first of all, definitely give Sean G the link. You should check it out, and you should check it out as well. Definitely, it's easier than you expect. So yeah, we're based in Switzerland, in Zug, like many other cryptocurrency blockchain foundations or entities, as well. We started in February 2016, so over 5 years ago. And at that time, really, we scouted for jurisdictions where we can register an entity for Lisk, and it was very difficult. Like nowhere it was essentially possible. And then we got in contact with some co-founders of Ethereum, and back then also advisors of Ethereum, and they advised us after joining our advisory board to go to Switzerland and to do it with the law firm MME, which became back in the day somewhat of a household name for blockchain foundations, and still to today, I would say they're one of the best law firms in Switzerland to facilitate that. Over the last 5 years, obviously more jurisdictions joined the game, and you could even create now an entity in Germany, where I'm from originally, for blockchain tech, but back in the day it was just nowhere possible. But experiences are great, so nothing to complain. It was a really good choice for us.
And can I actually jump on that point of back in the day when you were, scouting for jurisdictions where to actually register your company, right? Why? What kind of issues were you running into? So in terms of legislation, they just didn't know how to register a blockchain company. Was that an issue, or
they just had no clue? They didn't know what blockchain is. They didn't know what Bitcoin is, even though it was already, for me at least, pretty late in the game. But they really had no idea what was going on. And we tried to do it in Germany as a GmbH, which is something like a non-profit limited, because we always wanted to keep Lisk as a non-profit entity where everything is just for free and open source. And essentially we had this contact. First of all, of course, we worked with a law firm together in Germany, but then we had this contact at the something like a finance agency. And this contact always had to run to the superior to just get some opinion, and after months, it was still not feasible to do anything. And that's why we also had such a big delay, because essentially the project started in January. The ICO we had from February to March, but the foundation was not registered until November. We had months of time wasted on trying to find jurisdictions where it's possible, especially also in Germany, and it was just not possible. And then we did it in Switzerland, and that was relatively straightforward. Took us I think 3-4 months. Nowadays they spin it up, I think, within a month or so. But yeah, that was mainly the problem. No one had a clue.
And if you were to do it today, what kind of country would be the best for that? Still Switzerland?
So it depends what you want to achieve. For a project like Lisk, which is pretty hardcore infrastructure technology, Switzerland is perfect. Here we also have the foundations behind Cosmos, behind Polkadot, or behind Cardano. All these big, heavy infrastructure technology companies or foundations are here in Switzerland. So the network is amazing. The ecosystem is great. For everything more related to DeFi or much more financially orientated entities, I would probably choose Singapore for many reasons. It's the Switzerland of Asia, and everything's just much easier. And if I would build just a blockchain application, some cool game or something, I would honestly nowadays try to consider Germany just as a German citizen and national, because it would simplify things for me. I wouldn't have to travel. I could just stay where I am and just pay the big taxes and legal fees in the beginning, but then just reap the benefits long term.
Question from the chat from Gherkin. Okay. I'm not sure if I said that right, but he said, what about Estonia? They have they also have e-residency and are very open for digitech.
Yeah, I love all the efforts. Like, it's great. Like, I was evaluating at one point to get that e-citizenship and travel the world all the time. Don't pay taxes privately as well, anywhere in the world, because I'm just traveling and the e-citizen in Estonia. But Lisk is a big project. We're like, I think, like one of the OGs of blockchain and ICOs. We're one of the, like, I don't know, 1% still here kicking, you know. We have a market cap of, I think, over 800 million. We have nearly 200 million in assets. And for that, I would prefer like a jurisdiction which has also a very good reputation. And for everyone who knows, Estonia is great. But for everyone who doesn't know, it sounds sketchy. And I think the blockchain industry, you know, the blockchain industry consists of many people who just don't know.
Yeah.
Russia and Estonia are the worst in terms of brand reputation. Trust me.
Yeah.
This is true. Okay, so I have a. Can we please bring up the Lisk site, because I have a couple of questions. What is your current business model? How does Lisk make money? Because I've seen a couple of projects. Like, I'm interested, like Lisk. Let me just put it on my screen very fast. So like, I'm interested in like what is like Lisk DAO or a Fit Market. See, but how do you make money, and what all those apps have to do with that? Or
so essentially we raised over 14,000 Bitcoin in 2016, and since then
we've initial coin offering or just like funding round? Okay,
was ICO. Yes, exactly, and we're using these funds since then. Obviously, we raised it at a much lower per Bitcoin price. Back in the day, the 14,000 Bitcoin were like $5.8 million. Nowadays, would be, what would it be, like 800 million or so. So we've used these funds since then. We're left over now after 5 years of development, of marketing, of research, design, and all of that, with around 2,000 Bitcoin. We also bought some LSK back in the early days. So then we also benefited from the price increase. So we're living off these funds since then. Like I said, we have today nearly $200 million in funding, either in fiat assets, in stable coins, which is a new effort from ours starting this month, where we are going to publish soon some more information, and in Bitcoin and LSK. So we're using this to just fund our operations. However, I understand the importance of nice, juicy revenue streams. Like, that's one of my goals as CEO of this project, to make Lisk self-sustainable. And my plan, at least in my head, is to become self-sustainable until 2025, to build revenue streams around the platform in order to earn constant income, which we can either use to fund operations, to fund marketing efforts and campaigns, or to even buy back some LSK, whatever it is, you know.
But in that sense, are you looking to grow as a B2B company, right?
Yeah, so...
Because the reason I'm asking is that this app's built on Lisk on the site, right? It says the Lisk community is working on multiple proof of concept blockchain applications. Are these just cases where people used it, or these are enterprises, or, you know?
Yes, so you have to understand our approach as like a two-step approach. First, we work on the SDK, which allows any developer and enterprise, of course, to build a proof of concept or blockchain application, you know. The second step will be interoperability, where everyone is able to connect this to the Lisk blockchain. And through that, for example, if you're building a DEX and have, I don't know, like a prediction market, you could ship the prediction market token to the DEX, change it for something, and move then this new token to another chain. So we want to have that in order to be able to promote our platform as a live platform, like a production-ready platform. Everything before interoperability is essentially just a proof of concept or an isolated solution where the LICS ecosystem doesn't have any benefit from. And that's why we have put a lot of effort in the last, I think, nearly now 1.5 years on interoperability. And we're having a big event end of May, 21st, 22nd, where we are going to reveal all these research papers we've worked on, essentially being 19 of them. So a huge amount of research conducted to facilitate blockchain interoperability within the Lisk ecosystem. And only then these applications can become real, so to say, and then we can start to talk also with enterprises and businesses. However, my theory is it's easier to attract a developer to build something new instead of attracting a business with an already established business model to convert it into blockchain.
So now I know that I'm off screen, but I still have questions. Sorry, something happened with my lighting. I'm going to be back in a second. But I know that in your probably for that when you publish all those 19 research papers, and you will be able to talk to enterprises and corporations, right? You will have those juicy revenue streams, hopefully. But I know that in one of your recent Q&As with the community, you were asked about the NFTs, right? And how would that be different to build an NFT using Lisk, if that's even a fair comparison, right? And I think it was like maybe this month, but a couple of weeks earlier. What do you think today? Is it first of all, is it a fair question? Could you actually build an NFT using Lisk?
Just quickly a note on the revenue streams through enterprises. So I think this is not really in our intention. We just want to build the best developer tools available in the industry for anyone to just use them. I think revenue streams will be more established through either like being validators on all these different blockchains, or by maybe providing LSK token for liquidity or other purposes in blockchain applications, or through our own blockchain applications, which we are developing then and monetizing. I don't want to become somewhat of a consultancy or something. I want to do tech and not help other people understand the tech in lengthy meetings, just to quickly make a note on that. So yeah, in terms of course you're welcome. In terms of NFTs, so there's obviously a very big hype right now. I have many friends or singers, artists contacting me and just saying, hey, let's do something here now. And well, on Lisk, obviously it's possible. We have a whole tutorial in our documentation guiding a developer from zero to the end result of building their own blockchain application, which supports the creation, transfer, and auctioning of NFTs. So that's possible. But like I said before, before interoperability is not implemented, we're just going to reveal the research of it now in May. It doesn't make sense to do anything like that in terms of the wider Lisk ecosystem, because well, you cannot send the NFTs around. You are basically trapped on your own blockchain, And I think especially for NFTs, you have this, of course, social promise that the person behind it will always say, yeah, this is the original NFT. But you also have somewhat like, I think reputation is the wrong word, but like the main player for NFTs to register them on. Like, I think if you have one NFT registered on one platform and on the other platform, they will have very different values associated with them, like depending where the artist decided to host them on. Drone is like putting a lot of effort in acquiring NFTs, but everyone's doing it on Ethereum as it's like the established player in the market, and everyone who wants to purchase NFTs directly will go there. So yes, you could build it on Lisk, but for the Lisk ecosystem, it doesn't make really sense right now to even promote the fact. It would be an isolated solution. It would be maybe something for a business to build as an MVP or as their own isolated solution to that, but nothing of real interest for us as the platform in itself.
Well, there you have it, folks. A very solid company that raised money in 2016 during the ICO craze and actually fulfilled the promise. The reason I'm saying that is because a lot of companies who raised money through ICOs in 2016 and 2017 actually took the money and disappeared, but not Lisk. Lisk is actually fulfilling its promise, and it's a very prominent and solid company. My last question to you, right? Because I was recently asked that, and I was
this is gonna just so I don't cut you off later. This is gonna have to be our last question. We unfortunately do have to wrap it up.
Absolutely.
We are out of time.
From your technical standpoint, what are other valuable companies in the industry that our viewers should just familiarize themselves with?
Please specify valuable.
That are bringing value to the ecosystem, like band protocol that, cross-chain oracles, for instance.
Okay, yeah. I think looking at the developer tools available in the industry, I think it's still very early days. Like building on Ethereum is not that easy and straightforward. I think it is. It's difficult. The developer tools are pretty beta and not very production ready and stable, in my opinion. So I think valuable projects overall are all these projects trying to solve these problems. Saying Ethereum and all its developer tools around it. It has a very big developer community. Polkadot, Cosmos, my project Lisk, of course. All these projects trying to make blockchain development more accessible. Because I think at this point of time, we still need more experimentation. We still need more just use cases being developed. So that's one side, obviously, and then another side are every project which is actually bringing a use case which makes sense. So everything out of DeFi, everything out of NFTs is already creating some kind of buzz. Why? Because actually people can now finally use blockchain technology. There is somewhat of a benefit or an advantage in using it. And I think this is also very valuable just for the industry overall, because it finally gets some mainstream recognition. Artists who are the least technical people in the whole world suddenly want to do something with technology, It's amazing. And for me, this just shows that blockchain, that investing, that owning assets, especially crypto assets, will become more and more mainstream. It will be very normal to have tokens in the future. It's not normal to own some stocks in many regions of this world, but it will be normal to own cryptocurrencies. And this will, help, I think, humanity overall, or at least people in many different areas of this planet, to become more independent from the government and their monetary system. So I think every blockchain project just adding use cases or building infrastructure is very valuable for us as people, as humans, and for the blockchain industry.
Thank you so much. I think we've run out of time, Aaron. We'll have to cut it off.
Unfortunately, but this was fantastic. Thank you again, Max, for joining us. It was great to hear about Lisk, your platform, and how you're making it super easy for developers with your SDK. Great having you again. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Just quick before you go, could you let us know or let our audience know your Discord link if they can join that, where they can find you, and maybe something new and exciting that's in the works?
Yeah, sure. So we are first of all available on lisk.io, our official website. Our Discord channel is available on lisk.chat. It's a quick link to get invited to it. We have a YouTube channel where we're now starting to do more stuff on. And obviously Twitter, which is Lisk HQ. My personal ones always are Max Kordex, one word, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, whatever it is. So just check it out. And something exciting coming up. So we're currently in the process of updating our website. So there will be a few new nice things introduced in the coming weeks before Lisk.js, but essentially everything culminates or ends up into Lisk.js being our major event this year on May 21st, May 22nd, where we are going to reveal some development updates. We're going to reveal all research papers about blockchain interoperability. We're having some demos. We're showcasing some community blockchain applications. So this will be a pretty big time for us, and everything is essentially working towards that effort there.
That's fantastic. So thank you again, Max, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
That is our show for today. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you, everybody. Bye.